I recently heard a colleague say that you cannot outrun the future if you don't see it coming. And that is the central theme of this keynote presentation, preparing now for what's next. It's all about what the future is going to hold. And this has been the focus of my research now since 2004, identifying, tracking, forecasting some of the very trends and disruptions that no organisation, no individual can afford to ignore. In this keynote presentation, I draw on that research to suggest that the next 5 to 10 years will be dominated and shaped by 4 dominant forms of disruption. The first form of disruption is in the form of wide-scale automation. We are going to see the rise of the robots, the influence of artificial intelligence and machine learning disrupting a range of professions that up until this point we would have assumed were immune to being automated. Professions like the legal sector, accounting, banking and finance. In this automated age, it is going to be the uniquely human characteristics that are going to matter more than ever before. Things like empathy and creativity and intuition. The second form of disruption is in the form of unconventional competition. Can I suggest the disruptor that's going to change the game for you most in the next 5 to 10 years will be a competitor who isn't even on your radar right now. If you want to understand disruption, don't reach for the long-range lens, reach for the wide-angle lens. You need to be focusing on the periphery and those disruptors that will enter from left field and could change the status quo almost overnight. The third form of disruption in the years to come will be in the form of empowered consumers. The consumer of tomorrow is going to have more options and more information than ever before. But above that, they're going to have a voice. They will control your brand. We often refer to this as the democratization of influence. And in the age of empowered consumers, the client or the user experience is going to matter more than it ever has before. Smart leaders, smart organizations will realize the value and the power of relying on data-driven insights, but also empathizing with their customers in a tangible way, seeing what it's like from their perspective to deal with your business or your product so you can innovate in a way that will serve them. The fourth and final form of disruption is in the form of emerging generations, particularly the focus on millennials. This is the largest generational cohort in history. They possess 35 to 45% of discretionary spending power, but they're a generation who are buying different things in different ways and for different reasons. The challenge for any organization, any leader, any institution right now is how do you gear up to be relevant for the next generation coming through. Now, as the name of this keynote presentation suggests, the whole focus is not just on what's coming next, but also how do you prepare for it now? It's the strategic response that matters most. And having spent over a decade working with some of the smartest business leaders around the world and working with some of the most visionary organizations on the planet, I've had the chance to get a unique insight into what it takes to stay one step ahead of disruption. What are the skills, the habits, the culture, the mindset required to navigate turbulent times? And my commitment is that every audience member will leave this presentation with a clear, actionable game plan for navigating the disruption that lies ahead and preparing now for what's next.